Okay, welcome here. So right now we're gonna talk about Kubewarden. Kubewarden, what's Kubewarden? It's a policy engine from us here in the Rancher team, and it's part of the CNCF. What's so cool about Kubewarden? Well, the policies are WASM policies. We can just write any policy in whatever language that compiles to WASM, and then you compile it, and you get your policy. It can be shipped as OCI artifacts, which is nice, no? Because you can keep using your tooling, your Git processes, and so on. And for the languages, you can keep using your libraries, and of course, you can test it outside of the cluster, which is super nice. Maybe you are used to other policy engines that have domain-specific languages, but that's not so nice because then you need to test it in the cluster, and it comes with some strings that are not so nice. So, apart from that, we provide the usual policy engine stuff. We provide policies that can monitor and protect, and we have a list of policies available also from the community. And with that, let's move to the next part of the thing. So how to install Kubewarden? You can see here we can see Rancher here on the screen, and if you look at the top left, you can see the Kubewarden tab. And with that tab, you would have the extension of Kubewarden installed for the UI. And once you have that installed, you can just click there. It's gonna be super easy. And with that, you go through the whole thing and install the charts. Which charts do we have for Kubewarden? It's 3 of them. We have the CRDs chart that has the policy servers and cluster admission policies and admission policies. These define the policies. Then you have the Kubewarden controller chart, which has, of course, the controller and all the all the airbag and service accounts and so on. It allows you to enable all the features that comes with Kubewarden. So maybe, for example, monitoring with open telemetry and tracing with Jaeger and set up the certificates and those things, and that's great. And then, as an optional chart, we have the Kubewarden defaults. It comes with a list of default policies that provide some chain defaults for the whole cluster, and you can be sure that the cluster is completely secure. So to install, open the UI, click on install. It's gonna add the Kubewarden repository, which comes from us, Rancher. Of course, this is all open source. And then, for example, here we are just installing Kubewarden as a system project in Rancher, and you can see that you can select whatever Helm chart values you want, and then we go through the install process. And here we are with the charts. So once you have the charts, which, for example, the last one is Kubewarden defaults, which is an optional chart, and it comes with the default policies. It's a handful of them that provide security for your cluster. Once you have that, we can go and see how to install Kubewarden. Now we see how to install Kubewarden. As you can see, it's pretty easy with the Rancher UI. You just click on install. That's gonna add the Rancher Kubewarden chart. With that, you can go and install it. For example, here we are installing it on the system project on the cluster. And of course, you can see the list of features that comes with the chart. You can enable, for example, metrics, telemetry, change the values of the chart, and then, after some seconds, we're gonna have the chart installed. And that means that the controller is going to be popping up, and that means that Kubewarden is already there. Of course, once you install, you can define your own policies, and right now we don't have any defined. And that comes on the next step, which is installing the Kubewarden defaults chart. Here we see it's just coming up, and here it is. We have Kubewarden up. So this is how Kubewarden looks. On the UI, you can see the list of policy servers. Right now we have 0. And now that's why we go and get the same defaults from the Kubewarden defaults chart. We click on the install chart for defaults, and we can also configure the Helm options for that. And there we can enable the recommended policies. We can put them in protect mode, which is going to reject everything that goes into the cluster and has some trouble with security things, or we can put them in monitor, which is what we did, and that means that they're going to just monitor and log what's happening on the cluster. The installation goes fast, and now we can see here the first active policy server is the default policy server. It comes with those 6 default cluster admission policies that are going to appear here to the right. So maybe in 1 or 2 seconds, there they are. And once that we have them, we can just go to the policy server default and see the list of policies. So for example, the list of policies here is do not run as root, drop Linux capabilities, privilege escalation, no privilege pod, things that provide security for Kubewarden and the system side of Rancher. Where do you find more policies? Well, you need to go to, for example, artifacthub.io, because we are a CNCF project. We have there a list of policies that, yeah, the Kubewarden team has maintained and has written, and you could also find community policies. Here you can see the list of policies. All the policies are signed via Sigstore and are certified to be coming from us. And for examples, you can see here environmental secret scanner policy. This is a nice policy that I really like. Since again our policies are done via WASM, we can just use the libraries of the language that we use to write the policy. In this case, we're using a Rust library, Rusty Hawk, and this policy is gonna detect all the mails, all the certs, all the GPG keys that are there in plain text in the cluster, and just inform or block those things happening. I mean, they need to be secret, so it would be better if they were not present. And Kubewarden loves Sigstore. All our policies are signed by Sigstore. In fact, we maintain the Sigstore Rust crate upstream on Sigstore, and we provide a policy that verifies signatures on container images or anything in the cluster. That happens for pods, for example, create update operations of pods, but you could just change it and so on. Here you can see how that would happen with Sigstore. You can have different ways of verifying this with public key certificates, or just GitHub action where you provide here the list of images that are going to be applied like this, and for example from where do they come, maybe the Kubewarden repository. And that's it for now. If you want to learn more about us, yeah, come check us in cncf.io, come have and say something on the Slack Kubewarden channel on Kubernetes, and see you around.